Hi there everybody, it's Halsey from Slim and Stylish. Thank you all for joining me today. Just balancing you up there. It's a bit difficult on the lives because I've got my hand setting up the live and then the other starting to go. Hopefully you're all okay. I'm just going to check to see on my iPad if I'm live and get the stream up so that I can see all your comments. Let me know when you're here. Say hello. Move my mat out of the way, just noticed that's in screen. But I'm playing with a prize peony today and I found that that's a lot easier if I use my Stampin mat to get a really good impression on it. So hopefully you're all okay. Had a good weekend. Morning to those in America. Hi Colleen. Hello Sophia. Karen. Other Karen. Bonjour Alison. So I'm just gonna copy my link and pop it over onto Facebook so everyone knows to join me. And I've had a little bit of change of heart today. I know I said at the end of the last live that I was going to look to do a watercolour project this week, but I actually got a request to do a one sheet wonder using 6x6 DSP. And I always ask everybody for requests, so I was so happy that I got one. So I decided to do that instead. Morning Norma, hope you're okay. Does seem really weird saying that at 4 o'clock in the afternoon over here. For you to join us. So hopefully you've all got a piece of one sheet of DSP that's 6x6 if you're going to be crafting along. I'm using Prize Peony because, you know, it's gorgeous. Hello Linda. So this one sheet wonder has done me 4 portrait cards and 2 landscape, and I have done some with the big peony, so that's this one here, and some with this one over here. So I've had a right little mixture. You can use whichever set you want to go with it. It's quite a simple one sheet wonder, but I quite like it. And normally when I've created something like this and it's so lovely. And then on the other side, I'm not going to be using the other. I was going to do one side petal pink and one side smoky slate, but I'm actually just going to stick back here because I'm loving that. So to get started, there is a template, and I think that Karen has already popped it onto the Slim and Stylish's Crafty Hangout for me in an album, because I'm still having problems with my album settings. So you can get a copy of the template to what, and you're catching this up later. Go and like the Crafty Hangout. Ask me to join. It's Slim and Stylish's Crafty Hangout on Facebook, and the picture is there with a template in. Oh, thanks Karen. I have no idea why I can't do that. But I do have a copy of the template here that I'm going to be working along with, and I will talk you through it. If you're wondering why my focus is a bit out today, I've changed my camera. So normally I film on my phone, but I had a real problem last week. After we'd finished filming, I went to go and take my phone down and it was boiling hot, like burning, and it's actually started to melt a little bit of my mount that it sticks to at the top. It is a very old phone, but yeah, that kind of worried me, so I've actually borrowed my brother's to do this one, and I think his is a bit more fancy because whenever I hold my hand up here, everything else kind of blurs, and I haven't really got used to that yet. Hey, okay. Oh, I'm sorry Karen, am I okay for everybody else? I'm wondering if it might be this new phone. Hopefully it's okay for everybody else. Right, so first of all, to get the full cut, you want to cut your 6x6 at 2 inches. Okay, so you've got a big sheet and then you've got a thin sheet here. Oh, phew, I'm glad it's okay for everybody else. I'm sorry it's not for you, Karen, but I'm really relieved it wasn't me. Okay, if you turn it, and this bit here that's 2 inches, you want to cut at 1 inch. So you have a 1 inch by 2 inch teensy tiny little rectangle. Okay, 1 inch. I do like cutting 2 inches by 1 inch because it sits really nice both sides of my trimmer. So that piece I'm going to keep intact because that's one piece ready for my card. And this one here I'm going to cut down at 2 inches. So this one here is 2 inches by 1 inch, and then this one remains at 3 inches by 1 inch. So those two together, that's another card. Okay, so we got the 6 by 6, we cut it at 2 inches. So that gave us this bulk bit, which is 6 by 4, and then it gave us a 2 inches by 6. We cut 1 inch off the end, so we got 1 inch by 2 inches. And then we cut the remaining bit into inch strips, like that. In fact, if I build this up on the side, actually, we can see where it's all come from. It's a bit easier with 6 by 6 to do this. So that's how that's come so far. Hopefully that's clear. I do realise it's like white on white, so it might be a bit difficult. The bit that's left, you want to cut the shorter strip, so this is the 4 inch bit, by 2 inches. So that's your next piece for your next card. And then you should have a 2 inch by 2 inch square left. So if you cut this one at 2 inches, and this one here at 1. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. Hello, Cindy. Nice to see you. So it's 6 inches by 6 inches, and I will read the measurements out for each section. So this one here is 2 inches by 4 inches. This one here is 1 inch by 4 inch and 1 inch by 4 inch. Then you've got 1 inch by 3 inch, 1 inch by 2 inch, another 1 inch by 2 inch, and then just to finish it off, this one here, if you pop this corner and this corner into your trimmer, like that, and cut it on the diagonal. Okay, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to flip that way. Is that clearer to see? That way, so we can see how it's come from the paper. But like I said, there is a template over on my group. So the Crafty Hangout. Head over there, and there is a template for this on there. But hopefully that might be a bit easier to see. Okay, so these two little bits here are going to be for one card, and these two bits here are on one card, and these two bits here are on one card, and then all the rest are singly to create 6 cards. Do you know what, looking at this way, I'm really tempted to play this way because it's really gorgeous, isn't it? Whichever side you go for on these, it's really nice paper. Well, what do you think? Shall I stick with the pink, which is lovely, or go with the smoky slate, which is also just... Stampin' Up really do it to you, don't they, by putting 2 really pretty patterns on the same sheet. It makes it really tough. Karen's saying grey. Cindy, oh, Kay, well played. Half and half. Good idea. Okay, so Alison, smoky slate, Karen. Oh yeah, okay, that's a good idea. Yeah, because I've got 6 in the pink, so we could do 6 in smoky. Okay, so these pieces of Whisper White here are 10.2 centimeters by 14.5 centimetres. So they're slightly bigger than what I usually work with. And if you're following along in inches, it's 4 inches by 5 5/8 of an inch. Okay, and I've got 6 of those. And I actually did it that way round, so that it's slanted upwards and slanted the other way, but it's up to you which way you do it. Okay, this big thick one I pop there. This one here, I popped one at the bottom, not straight on the bottom. There was about 1/2 centimetre of Whisper White there. And there's that one. Then this one, this is the 1 inch by 3 inch bit, like that. And then the 2 landscape ones, I had this one across the bottom there, and then I had these 2 here. Okay, so there was that one, that one, that one. Oh, I did have it slanted that way. What do I know? Well, I'll have it this way for a bit of a change. There was that one, that one, and finally that one. So to decorate them, I picked out the vellum square doilies. Has anyone used these? I hadn't opened them. I got them and put them on the side, but I hadn't actually opened them. They're gorgeous. Really, really nice. So I actually popped one of these on each card. And I also did some punching. So I'm going to pop all of these to a side like that, and I'll pick up each one individually when I've done the punching out. So I used the sentiment, "Your sweet friendship refreshes the soul." Watching while you're doing your packing stickers. Oh, Sophia is let me just grab the right one, otherwise I'm going to get them all wrong. Sophia has started a new little venture, like a resin, and she's doing coasters. Oh, they're amazing. They're so glittery. I might have placed an order. And now I'm being impatient, by the way, Sophia. I kind of like want them now. So Smoky Slate ink. I'm using my Stampin' mat. And I want 6 of these, but I'm going to give myself lots of space because I'm punching it out with this punch here, and it's quite wide. So I'm giving myself lots of space on my Whisper White to punch them all out. And there we go. So I need 6 of these, and I've just realised that this piece of Whisper White is not going to be fat enough to get 6 out of, and I really thought it was going to be. Oh dear. So this was a scrap Whisper White that I had for fussy cutting out my peonies. I'm using it here now. Oh, it's okay, Sophia. I understand. I'm not really that impatient. I just want them. So Sophia did some that look like mermaids' tails. Those are the ones that's coming for me. And when I get them, I'll show you them all, because I thought I might do a little gift box to myself for them. Not that I'm gifting them away. I'm keeping them all for me. Right, so So there's my 6 of those out. And I also had 3 of these. So these are the single peony flowers here. So I've actually stamped and fussy cut one already, and I've stamped the other one ready to fussy cut. And so I thought you don't want to sit and watch me fussy cut 3 of these. So I was going to stamp 2 and fussy cut them out and just do 1 on film for you, but then all of a sudden it was 4 o'clock. So hopefully my 3rd one fits on here. And I'm using the Stampin' mat purely because I found that the middle part of the peony doesn't always come out very clear. So if I use the Stampin' mat and push down quite forcibly, then I get a much better imprint of the actual flower. Hiya, Janice. I know, so rude. Right, some snips, fussy cutting time. So what have you all been up to this weekend? I had a bit of an assessment on my YouTube channel and thought the videos that I seem to actually just create that aren't sort of staged, and I just start and make a card not knowing where I'm going to go, actually seem to have more interactions and views. So I thought, you know, I'm going to put a few more of those up. So I did my first one yesterday to start a new Saturday series, and I really enjoyed it. So yesterday I spent about 4 hours and got quite a few ready to schedule. I think I'm cheeky done all the way up until August on Saturdays, so I'm quite happy about that. It's very rare I'm that far in advance with my schedule. Cybercrop, at a scrapbooking cybercrop. Don't know what a cybercrop is, but I do enjoy scrapbooking, so you have to let me know on that bit. Oh, don't get to me about the rubbish tip, Janice. I thought that the queues would have finished now, so we offered to take my aunt's stuff to. She'd done a lot of gardening during lockdown, but it was quite heavy all in bags, so we offered to take it to the tip. Oh, it was a huge queue, and we thought that that sort of queuing thing would have finished now, but no, massive. Not too difficult to fussy cut this one because it is just little fluty bits at the top. So I did a scrapbook for my nana probably a few years ago, actually, talking on scrapbooks, and I thought it was really nice because she's got Alzheimer's and dementia, so I went through all of her stuff, made a scrapbook together of all photos that were all black and white, you know, from like her wedding and from her growing up and everything. And I thought it was lovely because when she opened it, she remembered who was a huge thing. And she's gone into a home now. And I went up the one day to visit her, and I don't know whether you're going to think the same, Karen, or whether you'll be all right with this, but they had actually took a page out the scrapbook and attached it to her door so she knew where she was going, which was fine in principle, but it took me ages to do that scrapbook, and they'd ripped the page out. Oh. I did say to them, like, very nicely, if you'd have asked, I'd have done her like a little picture for her door. But I looked at the scrapbook with a ripped page out and thought, I could kill whoever did that. But yeah, my little angry story. But so long as my nan's happy with it, then I was good. But yeah. So I'm almost at the end of this one. I only did 3 with this one. The others I actually just stamped the stamp straight onto the background. And also I've got a slight panic about the advance part of the card. The shimmer ribbon that I've been using, which come with the suite, I think I've been using too much of it, and I'm hoping it doesn't run out before I finish the cards today, because there's not looking like there's much left on that roll. I've been really liberal with it, but it's gorgeous. Right. Just realised I missed a tiny little bit at the top. Hey honeybee, how are you? I swear there's loads of scrapbookers all scrapping along to various challenges. Normally you'd all get together in one big hall, but obviously they can't, so doing it online. Oh, what a really good idea. A good idea. So, hey Sharon. Right, so there we are. There's all my bits. And here's my ribbon that's, yeah, there's not much left of it. But you know what, we'll manage it, we'll master it. So, to put these together, I'm using my Tombow. When I do strips of DSP, I like to use my Tombow because then it's really flexible and I can move it. If I do it straight away with sticky strip or fuse or anything like that, then it's not as easy to put in the right place. So we're doing a one sheet wonder for anyone who's just joined us, 6x6, and there is a template on Slim and Stylish's Crafty Hangout over on Facebook, and I will also pop it and post it on my blog and everywhere else after here so you can get it. This is the one we're at the moment. We've already cut the paper and we're decorating now. Joe, I'm wondering, means I've done it smoky slate on smoky slate. I could possibly get away with doing the Whisper White with metallic trim ribbon if I do run out. But we're just going to pray I'm not running out, right? So, pop some ribbon around it. So I'm going to pop some glue on the front, just because I know that it's going to hide that bit behind there anyway, and I can then pop my ribbon where I want it. Flip it over. Bit of glue on the back. I am struggling a little bit with the new seal, a little bit off the, don't know if you can see, off the track. So you know, like the old one, when you finished, you kind of moved it to the side to pull it apart. This one isn't the same. You need to pull it up quite clearly, but a few years of getting into a habit, I keep forgetting. So then I have to sort it back out. And I found that now up here is really tacky from where I keep transferring the glue. But we'll get there. You can teach an old dog new tricks. I will get it. So with the vellum, which I'm going to put towards the centre of the card there, I'm going to work out where I'm going to pop my sentiment there, and I'm going to pop glue all behind, which will then stick this in place. So just a bit of glue there. Stick that down. Get some dimensionals. And pop those on. And then, yeah, I want my peony just there. So for that one, a dimensional at the top and some Tombow down the bottom, because I'm going to be sticking it onto here. Oh, do you know what? That was a good choice, whoever said doing it in the smoky slate, because I actually really like that. So the cardstock that I've got for the main bit, This is A5 cardstock, just scored in half. So I've took a normal A4 sheet, cut it in half and scored it in half. And I've already done the scoring, so it's just burnishing them all before popping it on. And I'm going to pop it on with some dimensionals, and I'm using a hell of a load of dimensionals. When I stick normal Whisper White onto card and then stick it onto the back of the card, I just do 4 dimensionals like this. But when it's the thin Whisper White being popped up straight away onto the card, I add a couple more because I think there's that one. I'm going to leave it, and I'm going to come back and put my bow on it when I've finished. That way I can see if I've actually got enough ribbon or not, because I think that looks lovely without the bow. And then if I do have enough ribbon, because I am worried about how much I have left, I can add some on. So there's card number 1. Card number 2 at the bottom. This one is one of my landscape ones, so I'll come back and do that at the end. I'll do the landscape ones all together at the end. So this one here is the 2" by 4". And this is going to go right across the bottom, and I'm putting it right at the very bottom here. So there's sort of no gap, it's just flush on the bottom and the side. Okay, the ribbon is going to go across the top of there. So I'm actually going to pop some glue again. Here's the one I did with the pink, so I know that my tab's going to go there. So I'm going to pop the glue here and do the same thing as I did previously. Pop that across there. Just really unlike me, coloured ribbon I never normally get through. I buy it in the catalogue period and then I've never finished it by the end. Whereas the Whisper White ribbons, I get through those really quick. This one just must have been, just picked my fancy maybe. So the doily's going on that side. Again, I'm going to pop the glue down in that corner. Get that stuck on. I just feel these doilies really add some texture onto the back of the card that would also just be nice. I think you could use this as a sponging template. You know, get your daubers in and make this as a nice template. I've only just thought of that, otherwise I'd have tried it before coming online, but I do think that could work. So with this one I've gone the other way around and I snuck the peony behind the sentiment. So for that I've worked out where I want it and popped it down, and then popped a couple of dimensionals on this bit. Pop that on top. Again, exactly the same dimensions for all my backing sheets. Oh, for those who have been listening to me complain for the past few weeks that I couldn't get into the office, they haven't been able to use their big guillotine, and so I've had to do my own cutting. I snuck into the office this week and I guillotined like 10 packs of card. I've got card until like next year now. There was a great big box and I've absolutely filled up on it. That's a good point, Linda, actually. This, I do have a funny feeling it probably could go on back order because it is such a gorgeous set. And lots of people seem to be using it at the moment. So I think it could be going off onto back order eventually. So if you do want it, I'd look at getting it pretty sharpish. Okay, so the next one is this one. So this is the 3" by 1" strip, and this is what I created with this one. So for this one I just did my own stamping on the back and I haven't popped it up, that's just a flat stamp. So if I can find what I did with my smoky slate. For anyone who is watching or what any items I use from slimandstylish.com. There we go. Oh, stick it the right way. Tombow. And I'm just going to pop that on there. Now this one I've popped in the middle of the doily, so I want to pop the glue sort of in the middle of my card. And you can tell that I was panicked. This was actually the last one I put together on the demonstrator. Sorry, when I demonstrated the 6 of them earlier, this was the last one I put together. And I was obviously worried about the ribbon already, so I didn't put it on. You watch, we're going to get to the end and there'll be plenty of this ribbon, and I've panicked about it all the way through. Ah, thanks, Kay. Yes, that would be lovely if anyone would like to give me a thumbs up. I was actually trying to read about algorithms for anyone who's got a YouTube channel. And apparently it does go on. You're more likely to get recommended the more thumbs up or comments you get. So they are very appreciated each time you do it. I'm going to nab the corners of these. Waste not, want not. Rip those off. If we get to the end and there is some ribbon left, I will come and pop a little bow on this because I do feel it's missing its bow. Janice, that's a lot of pressure giving you thumbs up on the way in. Is the one with the 2 strips. So this is the 4" by 1". And this is the card I did on that. So glue in. Being really lazy and not putting my lid on my Tombow in between because I know I'm going to be using it again. So each time I go to use it, it started to dry up. But yeah, that's typical me. And I've had a really good clear out actually. I can be a bit lazy when I'm crafting because all I want to do is craft, and what I don't want to do is do the tidying bit. So I had like loads of blocks from when I did my workshops and my face-to-faces, and I found that I was using all of them. I was popping stamps on top of them and using them, inking them up, and then going on to the next set. And at the end of the day, I'd have like 20 blocks all with different stamps on from different sets, and I couldn't remember where they'd come from. And basically I was really naughty. So I've packed them all up so that I will not use them. And I've popped them in the loft. So I now have 4 of each type of block, and that's me done. And if I want any more, I'm going to have to clean them and go again. I've been really strict with myself. So pop the ribbon across there like I did on the first one. Oh, you guys are lovely putting your thumbs up before you come in. It's very nice of you all. Oh, the ribbon's on back order. Oh, I'm glad you're over in America. I hope it's not on back order here because I need it. So the doily here, I've popped over the ribbon on this one. You can see I quite liked it with just the ribbon as the backing. So I know where I can put my glue. And for this one, I've popped the punch out on first with the Peony afterwards. Yeah, the dotted ribbon would. In all fairness, I think any of them would. It's just I fell in love with this one. The new one that I played with the other night that's come from the Christmas catalogue, that was not really a ribbon, it's more like a mesh. That would probably work as well. And that's really, really nice. So there's that one. And that can go on there too. Nick all of those bits. When I first started doing my workshops, I'd managed to pick up a workshop that had been a previous Stampin' Up demonstrators sort of, it was their workshop, but then they had stopped demonstrating. So I wrote out to all the local places to see if they wanted to host any workshops or anything. And this one came back and said, yes, we did have a demonstrator. But she stopped. It would be really great if you could come. And I actually did that thing where when we got to the side, the end of the dimensionals, I cut around the sides. And one of the ladies said, oh, that's a really good idea. She said, when I get to the end of my dimensionals and we've just got the bit around the side, I throw them away. And I thought, I didn't realise that was a need to tell you type thing, but yeah. I was like, you can get loads out of these. Keep going. Got this one with the big strip. I don't know what I've got. Got some sort of film on there. So for this one, I actually did the strip as a tag and I stamped the big peony onto this. I think I was getting withdrawal from the big peony. I quite like it. And I've got some scrap paper because I'm a bit OCD about my grid paper and I want to protect that. Hi Jerry. Oh, thank you. I will put the template for it on my Facebook group, so Slim and Stylish's Crafty Hangout. Come and request. Well, I say I will put it on. Lovely Karen's already put it on for me. Very nice of her. Just, you don't really have to do anything else with a card, do you? Like, that's it. It's just so beautiful, that stamp. Hey Aresta, hope you're okay. So to do the tag on this, you can actually do it on this punch. So if you wanted to, you could pop this in, line it up and punch it like that and create yourself a tab. Because I know some people, I cut it, but I know some people say that they always get it uneven. You can do it that way if that's easier for you. And that's the that one. I know the names of all of these. They just all seem to have label or tag on the end, and then I get confused with the rest of the names. But you can find them all on the Stampin' Up website. But I just cut straight up the middle and then take both corners to meet it so that it's like that. So with this one, I've actually popped the ribbon as well underneath, so there's just a little glimmer of it. And you know what, look, it's still going. And I've only got one more card left to do, so I might be able to put my bows on. Oh, I'm so excited by this. So excited. So over here is where I'm going to be hiding the adhesive, but as I'm also putting this on here, I can run adhesive the whole length and it won't make any difference. So long as you pop the ribbon towards the top of it. Like that. Don't stick it down on the grid paper though, people, which is exactly what I've just gone and done. Don't go doing that. There we go. Bit more adhesive down on there. And then I'm sticking that along there, just so I've got a little bit of the ribbon showing, but not all of it. And I put that flush there, and it's got the tag bottom there. So then for the vellum, that's going on the side over here. And I'm popping this in the middle. And this punch actually fits, you can see, it fits perfectly in the middle. So if you want two that go really well together, this punch and the vellum just work like they were meant for each other. They probably were, you know. I just think that it's really clever how Stampin' Up get everything to work so it works together. But there's probably someone sitting in the office thinking about it really well, and it doesn't just happen like that, and they've actually planned it. And then when they do it, I'm like, oh, it's brilliant. So there's that one. Exactly the same. Quite like that, you know, because this is quite fat, and it makes a really satisfying sound when you cut it. I reckon if you were in a mood, you could just sit here and just away at it, and it would really work out your bad mood. Well, Cindy, you're actually going to laugh at this. It's typical me, to be honest, and I don't think it will surprise anyone. I always worry about losing things. So my silicone mat I put in my Stamparatus case, because I used to use the Stamparatus and the silicone mat together until I got my extra foam bit. So I always knew where it was. And I can tell you right now, my Stamparatus is here under my desk. I don't keep it in the case. So guess who's gone and lost the actual case with the silicone matting? Because I wanted to use it the other day, because the silicone mat is amazing for doing like reflective stamping, where you can stamp images the other way around. And I wanted to get 2 of the dogs from the Pampered Pet set to face each other. And so I was looking for the silicone mat then, so I could do that. And oh, I haven't got a clue. I tell you, I can lose anything, me. But the problem is I'm always trying to be organised. I think about this sort of thing and think about how best to be organised, and then I fluff it up. Right, so that's that one now done. And this is the last one. I know, sad times. And hopefully I haven't lost. No, I haven't. There it is. This perhaps actually should have been the first one to do, because these are probably the two. I ran the ribbon over, put the vellum on top of the ribbon, and then put the DSP on top of the vellum. So they're like one of the last things that actually go on. And I'm stamping off again with the big peony. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to get a second one. In all fairness, I should get a second one anyway, because when you do the reflective stamping, you really kind of need a clean mat, not one that's got glue all over. So I should really get another one. But I don't know about you guys, when it comes to tools, they're one of the last things I pop on my list. Like, I see new stamp sets, new papers, you know, I need new ribbon. That will be the sort of stuff I add to my list. But stuff like snips and silicone mat and glue dots and more adhesive, they're like the things I always forget, because I'm never as excited about getting those somehow. Oh yeah, Janice, organisation, definitely. We went on holiday, it's a few years back now, because I like the Formula One, and we've been to quite a few racetracks around the world to watch it. But we went to the Spanish Grand Prix and stayed just outside Barcelona, and it was the first one we'd gone to, and I'd gone with one of my friends from uni, but it was the first time we'd gone on holiday together. And so I bought one of those lovely little, because I'm a stationery freak, and I bought one of those lovely little folders that you pop your passport in, you can pop your tickets in, your currency, everything. She said, oh, you're really organised. And I thought, she does not know me very well. So, you know, not wanting to lie, but at the same time being really flattered, I went, yeah, I am. Always organised, never lose anything. So she says, do you want to keep hold of the Formula One tickets? And I said to her, says, oh, okay, I can pop it in my little folder. So I was in charge of the Formula. They were the only things in there. We went and we bought coach tickets, and I put the coach tickets in there. We got a lanyard and some of those earplug things, put those in there. Fantastic. Everything's so organised and tidy with little tab, and oh, it was beautiful, that little folder. I remember that. And we got to the coach, and the coachman said, oh, can I have your coach tickets? And I'd only gone and left the whole folder on the pillow on the bed at the hotel. So I had to leg it all the way back, and they were really nice, and they held the coach for us. And the second I got on the coach, Angelina was like, you are not organised, are you? And I was like, no. And everything then got took off me. And we've been on loads of holidays together, but now she looks after everything because I'm not trusted. But yeah, that's a me thing. I'm a disorganised, organised, I think is the word. Right. So this is the last one, which means I can then go around and pop my lid on there before I do some damage. And I can add bows and embellishments to each one. How exciting. Right, there we go. Yeah, she stayed, my friend Norma. But believe it or not, this is a commonly repeated tale, and normally by Angelina. My 2 landscape cards. Oh yeah, Kalina, definitely try. I just magically fail. Yeah, Esther, you knew that weren't going to end well. Was yours where you expected it to be, Janice, when you went to look? So to decorate them, I have these gorgeous, elegant faceted gems. And for these, I bought these when we first got the catalogue out. So when would that be? Like a month and a half ago. Thought they were beautiful and put them in my drawer. And then when I was making it, I thought, you know what? While they're beautiful and they look good in your drawer, you should actually try to put them on the cards. So that is where we are with that. So that's why I haven't used very many, because if it's too pretty, I don't want to use it. And we can also check it out. We can pop a hell of a load of bows on all of these. So I'm just going to make myself up some bows, cut them, put them at the back, and then as we go through each one, putting some gems on, I can add some bows. So excited by this. Bow 1. Oh, that is dangerous, Janice. Unclip them. Have them in separate places. You can't risk losing both. That's very dangerous. Oh, I know, they're gorgeous, aren't they, Kay? The one thing I will say with them though is these clear ones here, I would avoid putting them on. No, sorry, not the clear ones, the white ones. I would avoid putting these on your white cards, because even though they glitter really nicely, they don't show up that well. I only put one, as you'll notice, and then thought, you know, I'm going to put them on black cards or coloured cards instead. So 1, 2 bows. Don't want a dodgy bow. That's better. Three. Uh-oh. Don't think I'm going to get 3 more bows out of this. I tried. See if I can get that masking tape off the end, and then I get, you know, a whole sort of 2 centimetres more. Is that 2 centimetres counts? Hiya, Irene. How are you? Calm down yet? Irene is always busy. I think I'd be exhausted if I was Irene. So much on. Right, that bow wasn't working. I'm going to go to this end because the end of the ribbon obviously counts. Actually keep mine, I got a purse a few years ago and it came in a really nice box. Really nice box. Oh, I give up. I got 4 bows, people, 4. So I'm going to pick which cards I like the most. I think that one, because it's got 2 strips of DSP, that can do without a bow. And this one didn't have a bow on the other previous one. So these 4 can have my bows. There we go. Actually, I've got glue dots now. Talking about stuff you run out of. I'd run out of glue dots ages ago and kept forgetting to put them back on an order because to me they're not stamps. So there we go, there's one. Two. Or does that one need a bow? Because that's got the strip all the way along. All confusing. 3. It's really annoying that there's more there. Just make a knot. Oh, that's a good idea. And actually, I've just thought, check this one out here. It's got a gap there, so I'm going to pop a glue dot where that gap is. I can manage this. Okay. Pop that down. And then 1, 2, teensy tiny. Ah, the peony stuck to the glue dot. Of course it did, Helen. A tail there. And a tail just there. So that, yes, right. Teensy tiny ribbon coming up and I'm done. I've got fat thumbs. This is where my fat thumbs are not going to come into, going to be unhelpful to me. Come on. Feel like I'm really messing this little tiny bow up. There we go. Might look messy, but it's a tiny little bow. It does look messy. We're going again. I feel you've all got plenty of time before I put the dimension, before I put my rhinestones on, so I'm just going to keep playing with the ribbon. Or do I do a tail like I did last time? Plan. 1, 2. What a good idea. This makes me happy. Then we can pop the rhinestones on. There we go. Sorry for everyone who had to sit for 5 minutes while I had this dilemma. There we go. Dilemma over 6 cards and just the rhinestones to pop on now. Oh, I wouldn't stop him, Janice. You let him go ahead and do that. He can come around here and do ours if he wants. So 1, 2, and I'm mixing and matching the colours up between the pink and the clear. And I don't want to put them all on the sentiment. Some of them I want off on the card as well. Just add something a little extra, I think these do. Quite like. I'll tell you what, I'll use the white so you can see, but it's beautiful and adds loads and loads of sparkle on. It's just not overly clear on the white card, so I think you might be best popping it on a coloured card, or if you did it on smoky slate card, that's under. And I've got them in the petal pink as well as the smoky slate. So which colours are your favourite? I'm actually really glad I did them in smoky slate. I quite like those as well. But I will pop the template for this over on my group, Slim and Stylish's Crafty Hangout in Facebook. Pop over there. I am live at 4 o'clock every Sunday, so pop back, do subscribe, and if you have liked the video, that's very much appreciated. Thank you, and hopefully see you all next week. If there's anything you'd like me to do, just let me know. Thanks for joining, everyone. Have a really good week. And if you've crafted along, there is an album for this actually in the Crafty Hangout. So pop your makes in the album, because I like seeing what everyone else has made with these as well. And yeah, it looks loads now, doesn't it? It looks like a proper sort of 12 by 12 one sheet wonder when you put them all together. But yeah, quite a fan of this one. So thank you all for joining me, and I will see you all next week. Cheers, everybody. Bye. Well, I'm saying bye, but the new phone I'm trying to use doesn't seem to want to go. It's gone. Bye, everyone.